Hi, my name is Kyla from About Casting, and I work at Nancy Hayes Casting in San Francisco. I am on a mission to help actors stop making avoidable mistakes in auditions and to demystify the casting process. So, that said, this time we are talking about 5 things you can do to improve your chances in an in person audition. Let's get into it. Number 1, I cannot believe I have to say this, but I do, so it's number 1. Be nice. I, of course, mean be nice to everybody who's working at the casting office, but just as importantly, be nice to the other actors. Be nice to people in the building who you might encounter. It blows my mind how rude some people can be. And I understand that this is stressful. I understand that you're probably trying to keep your lines in your head. You're like, oh, did I put enough time on the parking meter? All of the things that could be happening at the time. But if you're not nice in an audition, we don't think you're going to be nice on set. And we don't want to send someone who's going to be a problem onto set. So it's like the surefire way to get yourself just completely booted from our nice list is if you're rude to people. So be nice to everybody who works in the casting office, not because you're self-serving, but just because you should. And be nice to the other actors who are in the room. They might be nervous. They might be at their first audition ever. They might be excited. Don't be the grump who messes that up. Just be cool. Number 2, be as prepared as you can be. So I would love to put this generalization, just be super prepared. But sometimes we understand that we gave you a super last minute audition. And sometimes we also understand that life happened. Now, if every audition you come in for, you're not prepared at all and you have a laundry list of excuses and it's everybody else's fault and yada, 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 then that starts to be an issue. But the truth is, we understand that life happens and we understand that you may not crush this one the same as you did another one. But you need to come as prepared as you can. So if you're able to get off book, get off book. No matter what, bring a script. Even if you're fully off book, have a script. If there's some other preparation that needed to be done, do that. Come in with choices. Don't just come in as kind of a blank slate and be like, I don't know, what do you want me to do? Come in with a perspective. Come in with a way that you want to do this. And then commit to it. And then, when you've done all that, the final bit of preparation you can have is being well trained enough that when we give you feedback or when we ask to see something different, you're ready and able to do it. So roll with the punches, go with whatever we've asked for, and be prepared to take in all of that as best you possibly can. Number 3, get there at a good time. What I mean by this is you're going to figure out what is your kind of like golden zone time, but it's really important to get there early enough that you have time to settle in and so that the casting staff is not worried that you're not going to make it to your appointment. And also not so early that you start freaking out. We've had some people come in and work themselves into a tizzy by the time it's their turn to go in because they were like watching that guy go in and oh God, why did that guy go in for only 5 minutes? But then this next guy went in for 15 minutes. They must like him, but I look more like the other guy. And then, and then you spiral. And then by the time it's time for you to go into the room, you've already decided they hate you and you probably should quit acting and you never know why you do this anyway. And blah, 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 blah. So don't give yourself that much time. Give less. But you also definitely need to give enough time that you can get settled. You can go to the bathroom if you want. You can check to see if any of the sides have changed. And if they have, go over them as best you can. I'm so sorry I just bumped that. I hope it didn't sound through, but it probably did. So find what that Goldilocks zone is for you. And then one final tidbit to just be aware that it's really not awesome to come super early to a SAG audition because we are only allowed to have you there for an hour. And so if you come super early, like well before your time slot, we end up needing to rush you in earlier to make sure that you get out so we don't violate SAG rules for how long we can have you there. So don't come an hour early and check in, especially for a SAG job. We will panic and have to try to get you in immediately. You might be paired with the wrong person. It could be chaos. So find what that zone is for you where you have enough time to get settled, but not so much time that it's inconvenient to you or other people. I find the sweet spot is around like 15 minutes before your audition time, but that's yours to figure out how long you take. Number 4, once you're in the room and you've begun your audition, take up space. And I don't mean physically, I mean, it is your time to show us what you can do. A lot of actors who are a little bit newer come in and speed run through their audition. They're like, okay, great, thank you so much for your time, and here's everything, and okay, thank you so much, bye. And I get it, and I appreciate that it's a desire to not take up too much time. It's a desire to be viewed as, efficient and professional, but that is your time. We've allocated you 7 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever we've given you. It is your time to take. So if it's a scene that has a back and forth and there are a couple parts where things get emotional, let yourself really feel those feelings. You don't need to rush into the next moment. And by that same token, if there's a transition in the middle of the audition where you go from being happy to being more introspective, take the time to actually feel that transformation. Don't be an actor just running through lines. Be smoother, be more natural, give it time. Here's one little caveat that I'm going to add to this spiel here, which is preparation is not the same thing as performance. So you should try to get through your preparation before the scene begins pretty quickly. The thing that we want to see in your time with us is the actual audition itself, not you working up a tear or something like that. So figure out how you can get to where you need to be at the start of the scene pretty quickly. And then when I say take up space in your actual audition, not in that prep time before. You can ask me questions in the comments on that if we need to do a deeper dive on, preparing before an audition. Number 5, leave when you're done. A lot of actors want to hang out in the room. They want to get some additional back padding. They want to be given a chance to do another version or something like that. At a certain point, when you have been dismissed is kind of the harsh word for it, when you've done all you need to do, it's time for you to go. And you don't need to go shake anybody's hand. You don't need to offer other things up. It's really okay to say thanks for your time and to head on out. And the real pros, that's always, always, always the tenet that you see in them, is they will wrap it up, finish their audition. They'll tend to have done a fantastic job or at least shown us something we hadn't expected. And then they immediately can go, all right, thanks for your time. Have a great rest of your day. And they head out. And that is fantastic. It just feels like this is a professional who knows how to show up to work and who knows how to do everything they need to do, and then who knows how to leave it there. And I really can't emphasize enough how much that feels like just a little hint that this person you're dealing with is an absolute pro. Okay, those are my first 5 tips for improving your chances in an in-person audition. We can absolutely get into some more of the nitty-gritty of what to do in the room. We can talk about some of the things you can do to prepare beforehand. Let me know in the comments anything that you would want to see more of. Feel free to ask questions. You can email me. My email is in the description. If this video helped you at all, feel free to feel free to subscribe, and we will be back soon with more advice on the auditioning process.